felt about it.
Oh man. Well, there was a lot to that game with the Lions. There was quite a bit to there's quite a bit to the Detroit game. And what I will say is this: the offense ran very smooth under Bill Lazor. I think we can all agree with that. I think that the play calling just looked symmetrical. It looked like the plays fit together. Like you would, the running would set up the passing would set up the running. Whereas before it was just kind of sporadic, confusing.
There was no plan to it.
Yeah, exactly. And the pocket wasn't moved around as much as I would like, but it was moved around enough to where Justin, that one play where they kind of moved him out a little bit and kind of rolled him out, and then he had 5 whole seconds to look downfield, and then he found Mooney for a 45. See, Bears fans, we just haven't had that, man. Even with Cutler, we really didn't get that. So it was really, really special, honestly. That's what I will say. There was moments in that game where we were watching Fields be like, whoa, this guy is special. And those are my initial thoughts of the game. I have a bunch of other thoughts in regards to, well, actually, I'll talk about the defense really quick. Just the offense, actually. That's my initial thoughts on the offense.
But you liked what you saw, right? Overall, you
liked
I loved
what you saw. Yeah, everything. Everything was great from top to bottom. Completely improved. Literally everything. Defensive line, offensive line, or rather offensive line, game plan, all of it was better.
I would tend to agree with you. The overall performance definitely looked better. Definitely agree on the offensive side. They were fine. They realized Lazor, is that how you say his name?
I think it's Bill Lazor or Lazar, yeah, something like that.
So Lazar had a game plan, and it was well. The offense looked well executed. That's the best way I could put it. It looked well executed. You could tell they were setting things up. There was a plan. When Nagy calls games, it feels very scattered and almost like water buggish. You know what I mean? Where it's just dark, over here, over there. You know how water bugs they just dart all over the top of the water, and there's no planned direction, but they just go all over the place, right? That's kind of what it's like when Nagy, to me, what just from what I saw, when Nagy would call games. When Lazar was calling a game, you could tell there was a plan. He was setting things up, and he did the best he could to keep Fields out of situations that would get him in trouble.
That's what I saw too. Exactly.
Ross, what do you think?
Well, I took a lot of positives away from it. I mean, again, I'm the guy looking at freaking Google Stats, but let's look at some positives here. I mean, 373 all-purpose yards. Not a bad day.
No.
Passing yards, 185. Coming from a rookie quarterback. Rushing yards, 188. You guys are averaging 6.5 yards a play. 20 first downs. I mean, I want to see some improvement in your third down efficiency. But, again, 1 for 8 for a rookie quarterback ain't bad. And the thing you got to clean up is just the penalties and the single interception he threw. Single interception for a rookie quarterback.
And that was his fault, but...
Yeah, again, it's like...
It's a rookie, though.
He's a rookie, though, so he's going to make... He's a rookie, though, so he's going to make those mistakes.
You're going to have that a couple times.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones had similar issues. I mean, again, he had one pick and almost one other. Pretty gross.
So the next question I kind of want to ask you, JD, is we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the whole offense type of kind of side of the football with the Bears.
Yeah.
Do you think Lazar should take the reins for the rest of the season?
Like as the head coach or just the play caller?
No, as the play caller, as the sole controller of the offensive play calling.
I'll take it a step further. I will say that I don't see a point or reason why, and maybe I'm wrong. I will say this, maybe full disclaimer, maybe I am wrong, but I don't see a reason why Matt Nagy is the head coach anymore. And like, I am a guy who was maybe even just a few episodes ago was defending Matt Nagy and a lot of the things he made, or a lot of the decisions he made, the decisions he made, excuse me. But the thing with him now is he's looked like an utter fool, and now how can you kind of follow him? It's a little bit like Urban Meyer, but a lot less embarrassing. Like Urban Meyer, like he comes back to that Jacksonville locker room. He looks like a weirdo. He looks weird. He looked weird. But so like people are looking at you sideways. With all the things that Matt Nagy has said in the last 3-4 weeks, he looks weird. If I'm in that locker room, I'm gonna be like, why am I following this guy? This guy, one, he's the offensive genius, can't call plays. Two, he can't seem to manage his personnel. He gets pressured by other people, including the fan base with personnel. Three, he doesn't bring much, like for instance, like Sean Desai, he's the one who's running the defense. So if we know who's running the defense, it's not him. We know who's running the offense, it's not him. And he's just kind of like rattling off a bunch of nonsense in the media. Why is he the head coach anymore?
He does seem kind of lost as of late. I'll give you that. He does seem kind of like lost in the fray, doesn't it? Doesn't it kind of feel like that?
So he looks confused to me. I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, you don't know. I feel like someone else is making the decisions, and you're just a front man. So why do I need you? I don't know. Who's the real leader in the Bears? That's what I want to know.
What do you think, Ross? What do you think?
I just think Nagy shouldn't be on a football field. Like, I'm sorry. Look, for the first time when I was watching that portions of that game, it looked like there was a system in place, setting up the deeper balls, getting those short yardage runs, and then hitting them with a pass. It seemed like there was something that was cohesive. Seemed like something like there was a plan involved instead of let's hang out fields to dry and let them sling. It just felt like there was more of a plan.
It did.
Again, that's just my personal feelings. It's just I like when teams set up the deep ball. I like when teams, okay, we got the run game going. That's what they're protecting. Great, let's hit them on the outside. Let's get a 20-yard pass off. I like that, and that's what I'm seeing out of the coaching now.
He didn't just quit on Montgomery after like 5 runs. He's like, oh, we had 2 good runs and 3 bad runs. We're done. Let's just stop running now. Like,
dude, Montgomery.
Gotta keep pounding the ball.
The Bears offense actually looked like a well-oiled, well-orchestrated unit against. You know what I mean?
And when we got stuffed, we just did it again, run it again, and we got 8 yards.
That's I think that's what Lazar brings is that like, okay, patience. Kid, you got stopped for 2 negative yards, or 2 or 3 negative plays, but we're not going away from you. We're gonna stick with you because. So here's that perfectly transitions into the next question for me, for you, JD. David Montgomery's fast turning into one of you guys' best offensive weapons, and he's the best player we have. He is fast turning into one of you guys' best offensive weapons. The kid's averaging over 4 yards a carry, and they use him in the passing game. He's just a dynamic back, and I think the combination of Fields and him is going to be really, really, really dangerous for a lot of different football clubs that they face, because you have to respect Fields' abilities, and then I've been thoroughly impressed with Montgomery's production and how Lazar has integrated him into being able to be a nice little safety blanket for Fields as well. So what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you said it. He's the safety blanket. He's the how I see him. He's the workhorse. You know what I mean? Like, we need to use him as the workhorse. I think Montgomery is a guy who can be a special running back in the league for maybe 3 to 6 years in this league. Like, he's not a superstar running back, but he's absolutely he's definitely good enough to where he can be a Pro Bowler. He can get you 12 to 1,600 yards from scrimmage. I believe he has that potential. So if we can ride that guy, make him our new Matt Forte, kind of just he's the offense.
That's funny. I was just gonna say that to you. I was like, he's kind of like a low tier Matt Forte
someday. Well, it's like Matt Forte was more of like a true, open field runner, I think. But
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have Montgomery in between the tackles. You know what I mean? That when you don't have that much space, you kind of just burst right through. He's good at that.
He's very shifty.
And he can
He's
block.
very shifty.
And I like, he's got a lot of attributes that I like about him. He's a good player. So no question. Thanks, Travis. Thanks for watching, buddy. What's good? But yes, man, it is. I'm excited. I'm excited about the running back position. We still need to improve the offensive line, though. So.
I got some things I got.
All right,
say about
so
that.
Ross, what's your opinion on David Montgomery? Because me and you talked about this me and Ross are fans, dude. I like how they're using Montgomery, and I think that he's going to be a huge asset to you guys.
Big test against the Raiders.
But you go ahead, Ross. Give us what do you got?
So let's get everyone my perspective clear. I come from a kind of a more coaching, kind of put your players in the best situation to succeed. My biggest concern with Montgomery is, yes, they should lean on him, but 23 carries out of 60 plays, 50 plays. What was it? What we got for plays right here?
Somewhere around, I think it was somewhere around 60.
Plays.
I think they had 57.
Yeah. So my problem is that that's a lot of work on one guy. 23 carries, 106 yards, 2 tutties. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The thing is that I would like to see that number closer to 15 and use that extra 5 in the receiving game, just because it's such a bruising position. Because you look at Montgomery, he had 23 carries. Damian Williams, the next guy behind him, only 8.
Yeah. The Rams game he was used really well, but they lost, and it's like that'd be a way to use him like 6.8 yards a carry, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's just my concern is with it when they start getting into the high 20s or in mid 20s with carries, you start seeing injuries, you start seeing wear and tear. I mean, look at the Patriots. We lost Ramondre Stevenson, we lost JJ for a period of time, and then we had Harris out for a period of time. You can't expect to run these guys between 20 and 30 times a game and then expect them to be fresh for the next week. So
now he's out a month, so you're
that's
right.
Exactly. So
hey, hold on for 1 second. Let's pause the show for 1 second. We all enjoyed that Yankee beatdown. Fuck the Yankees. We all enjoyed it. Everybody in Boston loved that Yankee beatdown, Phil. That's not even a question. That is a statement. Yes, everybody in Boston loved the Yankee beatdown.
Again, I have a good story about it. We'll save that to the end if we have more time. But I do have an hilarious story about that game if we have time for it towards the end. So something for you guys to look forward to. But my last thing on the Bears in general, and Red Sox win, great, fantastic. I'm very happy. But I would very much like to see David Montgomery have his carries cut down, but maybe put him more into the passing game. And then with Allen Robinson, try to run a couple of running plays off of him, maybe an outside sweep. He's a big dude. He can do more than they're giving him credit for. And I think if they can move some of those carries over to, say, Allen Robinson, Williams, you're going to have better longevity out of your running core. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you. I agree. Like mix it up, mix up the bag. It
would also keep David Montgomery fresh too, which would definitely benefit you guys as well.
Well, and Damian Williams looked all right. Or is that his name?
No, he's not a bad runner. Dude, he's not a bad runner at all.
He looks bad. He looked all right.
But they only gave him the rock 8 times during the game.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like, he can get the ball more.
I was like see them rotate better.
I agree. Yeah. Hey, no, I'm with you.
100%. Yes, it does, Roy. Fact.
I think we should get into that.
Absolutely made up for that. Facts. That's a fact.
Well, we can maybe preview the Raiders game, but actually, the one thing I want to say about the Bears, are we
Go ahead, dude. Make your statement.
Yeah, the Bears. Yeah, with the Bears. So the defense, man. There was like a few moments on that defense, like or during that game, and this is all I want to say about the defense. Like I was like nerding out. I was like, dude, this is some old school Bears. Like this is some dominate. Like because this is the Lions, man. So I'm used to seeing this, and I love to see it again. Just I remember whenever we were at the goal line, they're at the red zone twice, and they just wreaked havoc on Goff, the defense. They're just all over him, and Goff just couldn't handle it, man. He just threw an interception, and then he went 3 and out the one time in the red zone. It was just like it was great. It was so great. The defense, if not for the defense,
that was like old school Chicago D though. That was like old school Chicago D. They look good, man.
Dude,
they did look good.
The linebackers were all. Ogletree was insane that game. Like the fourth linebacker. Oh my God, he was all over the place.
10 tackles. 10
yeah,
tackles.
He was insane.
Some guys don't get that a whole season. He had 10 tackles and 2 assisted tackles. The same.